Oh, Dave, by the way, I don't believe it's baloney. Okay. My name is Michaela, and I am inmate 264116 from Indiana Women's Prison. I was released about 2 years ago, and in about 2018, I was blessed to be in this program. I am grateful and thankful every day for the women that came in there. What they did was they instilled the littlest bit of hope in a hopeless place. They made us feel so loved, me, and I was at the bottom of all that I could be at. When I came in, I was on an 8-year sentence to do 6 years. I was in there for dealing a narcotic drug, and I felt like my life was over. I had an amazing family, a husband at home waiting for me with my children. None of that mattered, and I was just in complete despair. I decided that I was going to do the Plus program. And while I was in there at Rockville, they said that there was Kairos, and I had no idea what that was, none whatsoever. And being an addict, and on the brink of suicide, and, just the lowest that I could ever get, I joined Kairos. And what all of you did for me and all these other people, I know personally has changed my life forever. You show us love, which we don't know at that point when we enter those prison gates. It's so dark and so lonely. And I want to say thank you to all of you, because I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for all of you. When I walked through those gates in 2017, I was beaten down beyond. I had the worst possible thing happen. I ended up with a disease called osteomyelitis, which is a bone infection from being an addict. I had my left collarbone, upper 2 ribs, and half my sternum removed with a 5-inch hole in my chest. And for all intents and purposes, I should have been dead. But God had a plan. He saved my life, and he put me in prison. And for that, I will forever be grateful. While I was in there, these ladies, I love them. I just love them. They bring out the best in us. They make us learn to love ourselves in the worst situation possible. Dave mentioned why would anybody want to come in there, and all of this. And the fact of the matter is, it is scary. It's very scary, not just for you guys coming in, but for us being in there, And what you all do is you give us hope that there are good people in this world that truly love us. And it's not what's behind those fences. And you give us an opportunity to really change our lives. That's the most beautiful blessing you guys could ever do for us behind those gates. Being in there, you guys there was a seed planted, and it was up to me to water it. And glory to God, every day, he showed me the way. He allowed me to be vulnerable, to dig deep, to rely on people when I was used to pushing people away. And he taught me how to lead with my heart and my soul. Every day I'm grateful that I overcame all of the past and everything else. Overcome is a big topic for me. I have 6.5 years clean this month. With that said, if you would have asked me 6.5 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be standing here doing this. Ever. Every day, God shows up for me in some way, shape, or form. whether it's waking up in the morning to being thankful that I get another day on this earth, or a nice conversation with a friend out of nowhere when I need it, I came home and I was petrified. And all I did was pray. And I started to go to work. And I cut hair at Great Clips in Jasper, just so you know. I got my degree in prison. They gave me a trade. Come see me, okay? But the fact of the matter is that God gave me a purpose. God made me believe that I was worthy of love and that I could have the life that I desired, that He had for me in mind from the beginning, that I didn't know anything about. When I was born with a VSD. What that is a ventricular septum defect. It closed by the time I was 7 years old, so I never had to have open heart surgery. I was also diagnosed as a child as ADD. Never fitting in, never knowing which way was up. I always felt like I was on the outside looking in. My choices were my choices. And when it comes down to it, I can see now God was always walking right next to me. Never for a moment have I ever doubted His presence. And the one thing that holds still in my heart is the ladies that came into that prison taught me what faith was. I don't have to see Him to know He leads my life every single day, and I am grateful for everything He has done, and I am grateful for all of you, for what you do for us behind those gates. You guys have no idea how you impact us so much and make us feel so loved. When I got out, I was cutting hair. And all of a sudden, this perky little blonde walks in. Her name's Carla. She's right over there. She walks in, and she's sitting in my chair, and I'm cutting her hair. And I look at her, and I said, Carla? Kairos Carla? And she said, yes. And I said, well, oh my goodness, I'm Michaela. I did that in Rockville. And so we built our relationship. And I ended up doing the walk to Emmaus. I'm number 64, Table of Esther. I got my bracelet on to prove it. Doesn't leave me. And we have kept our relationship through and through. Overcoming is a very big thing for me because everybody has their own obstacles. The one thing that I've learned throughout my years is that I have to take myself out of the equation and let Him lead. He speaks to me in ways that I can't even put into words, but my faith in Him knows that everything's always going to be okay. And I don't have bad days anymore, and that's because of you guys. The love and support that you guys showed us in there. And that little seed that you planted. I remember sitting on my bunk crying, just wanting something different. I'll do anything. And I woke up the next morning and things were different. I felt different. And I will tell everybody till the day that I pass away, I was delivered. And God, I'm grateful every day. Every day. Overcoming things is what all of us do best. You can't give up. You left foot, right foot through it, knowing that the end game is where we want to be. I just know in my heart that everything was going to be okay once I came back from the Kairos convention. I called my husband. Boy, we spent a lot of money on that, those phone calls. Whew. I'm surprised we didn't end up in bankruptcy. But God loved my husband. My husband went to prison in 2008 as well. She really wanted us to do a couples one, and I don't think he's very personable that way. Put him on the roast right there. But bottom line is that, he stayed by my side and he helped me through it. Sober, raising our daughter who was 2 years old when I left. He raised her for 5 years as a single dad. He was my rock, and he helped me overcome so much, and we grew in our faith together. And we still do, every day. That is our foundation. We wouldn't have that without you guys. Just takes so much. I know in this journey that we are capable of overcoming anything. Our thoughts, our actions. It's his call. And like she said earlier, it's hard, to live his way. But if you take yourself out of the equation, it doesn't seem so hard. He has us all in the palm of his hands. He's already done this for us. I love you guys. I really don't have much more to say. I'm just grateful.